Welcome to Her Health First, where Black women's health takes center stage. Movement isn't about weight loss. It's about protecting your blood sugar, your energy, and your future. In just a few minutes a day, you can start lowering your diabetes risk and strengthening your body. Welcome back to Her Health First. This Diabetes Month, we've talked about awareness and nutrition, and today we're going to talk about something that's just as powerful: movement. But before we do, as always, you got to get into the outfit. I'm an elf today, and I got striped pants on. So today we're going to talk about movement. And when it comes to preventing or managing diabetes, movement isn't just about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up. Ready to join the conversation? Let's get into it. Before I get started talking about movement as it pertains to diabetes, I just wanted to share something with y'all that just shocked me. So I was talking to my mom, I don't know, last week, maybe a couple weeks ago, I don't remember, but she gave me a statistic that was just, it blew my mind. Once you turn 65, if you fall, the risk that you're going to have a major decline increases at 65. And I always knew that for older adults, once they fall, there's a quicker decline, whether it be cognitively, definitely physically, that happens. But I was like, 65? That's crazy. And when I say older adults, I don't necessarily think 65. When she told me that, it definitely shocked me. I was shocked. So that's that. Yeah, I just felt like I should share it with you guys because 65? Oh my gosh, 65. I can't believe it. But let's talk about how movement impacts your blood sugar. When you move your body, your muscles use that glucose for energy. So remember, we said glucose was the sugar that's within your body. So if the muscles are using glucose for energy, that means less sugar is sitting in your bloodstream, more of it is being put to work. Regular movement improves your insulin sensitivity. So what this means is that your body becomes better at using the insulin it already produces. Now, if you think back where we talked about the different types of diabetes, type 2 is one where your body doesn't use the insulin properly. There's a decrease in the insulin sensitivity. So regular movement helps improve that. And don't get it twisted, okay? You don't need extreme workouts. You just need steady habits. Just steady. And if you like me, that's the problem. The consistency is the problem. Because I will tell you, okay? Even small movement that you do daily can help improve your blood sugar control, your circulation, your energy levels, and your mood and mental clarity, especially during this time of year when seasonal depression is at its worst. Because during this time of year, the sun sets earlier. Because I think, did they say the sun was setting at like 5:30 the other day? Because I always check to see when it's going to be sunset because I love to see a nice sunset. But I think it was like 5:30. So now the days are shorter. It's getting darker earlier. So you have less chance to absorb that vitamin D from the sunlight. So in order to do this, the movement that you don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a gym membership and you don't need a perfect schedule. Let's be realistic. So realistic movement includes maybe walking around your neighborhood, dancing while you're folding laundry, or choosing to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Some gentle stretching in the morning helps, and playing with your kids or your grandkids. So, this movement should feel supportive to your body and supportive to you mentally, not like it's a punishment at all. So, these are just little swaps that you can make every day to help increase the amount that you move. So with movement, a lot of people wonder, okay, well, what about strength training? Should I be strength training? Should I not be strength training? What works? So we're going to talk about strength training and insulin sensitivity. A lot of women I know are afraid of strength training because they're like, oh, I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to be bulky. I don't want to be this. Because there's so many misconceptions about strength training. So honestly, strength training deserves more attention when it comes to diabetes prevention because building that muscle, like we said, your muscles use the glucose. So if you're building muscle, then it helps your body use that glucose more efficiently. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. So what that means is it'll naturally lower that blood sugar over time. So the more muscle you build, the lower your blood sugar will get or can get. So things you can do just to start off, because like I said, it doesn't have to be complicated. You can start off with body weight exercises. You could do body weight squats. You could do hip thrusts. You can use light dumbbells, 2, 5 pounds. Okay. Cause I have 2, 3, and 5 here. Okay. So even, little weights, light dumbbells you can use, resistant bands, or even water bottles. You ever tried to pick up a 5-gallon water bottle? It's not light. So you can even use that or a milk jug, just anything that you have around the house. And making little changes, doing little movements, even 2 days a week over time can make a measurable difference. So again, like I said, it's the consistency. You just got to keep doing it. Keep moving. Keep moving. So remember, movement is not about shrinking your body. It's about protecting it. You start where you are, use what you have, and keep going gently. So the premise is to build the muscle because we talked about falls in the beginning. So once you build that muscle, it makes you stronger. I read a quote on social media the other day that it said that I would rather be the oldest person in the gym than to be the youngest person in the nursing home. So building that muscle is what helps you get up and down off the toilet. Once you become older, it helps you get up and down off the toilet without falling. It helps you open doors. It helps you go up and down stairs. It helps you just be able to move your body efficiently. So building that muscle is not going to be, you're not going to be a bodybuilder. You're doing it to maintain. Because another statistic my mom told me, she said, I forget which doctor she said she went to of hers, but she said the doctor told her, you start losing muscle in your 30s. In your 30s. So if you start losing muscle in your 30s, can you imagine how much muscle you've lost by the time you make it to your 60s? Crazy, crazy, crazy work. So that's why we got to make sure that we give strength training. That's why we got to make sure we rewrite the narrative on strength training because strength training now can mean you living a longer life with better quality. So that's it for this week. Next week, we'll talk about what it really looks like to live well with diabetes, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm Tracy with Her Health First. And remember, your health comes first, always. Thanks for putting your health first with us. Subscribe, share, and stay rooted in your healing.